Sacred pause is for when you're in the process of growing and becoming your best self while also being tired of being your best self. It's always about honest, in the middle of life conversations covering motherhood, mental health, relationships, identity shifts, and all the stuff that doesn't really have a clean answer but still takes up space. I'm Emma. I have 2 young kids, chronic migraines, and a life that can feel really full and beautiful while also feeling really heavy all at the same times. Some days I have perspective, some days I don't, and this is where I'm going to talk through both. This can be therapy, catching up, or trying to process things out loud. We're not fixing our life, we're not becoming our best self all at once. We're just slowing down for a minute and being honest about what's actually going on so we no longer feel like we're the only ones figuring it out as we go. Thank you for joining me, and here we go. Welcome back. I feel like it has been so long since I've been on the mic talking. And what is so cool is I have seen people finding old podcasts from last year. And it just really gave me nostalgia, gave me missing talking into the void, but also making connection with community. Life has been crazy. I mean, when is it not, right? Whether we're looking at careers, raising our kids, relationships, the whole thing, right? I feel like as humans, life is constantly moving. And before, I would probably try to have a script and talk and all of those things, but I just wanted to let the words stumble out and see where we end up today. So, if you're new here, I'm Emma. I'm a mom to 2 neurodivergent kids, full of energy, full of chaos, full of big feelings, and so much love. And figuring out how to support them has basically been my life mission. At the time of recording, they're 4 and 2. My youngest has had a journey of health issues, and we're still kind of figuring it out, but he's doing a lot better. And that pause is just me thinking about the billion of things we have done and how resilient he is and how loved he is and how much his sister loves him. And with my oldest, we've just been navigating kind of the social scene for her now that she's in school and how she processes things and her confidence. It's quite interesting that at home she is loud and rambunctious and all of these things. And at school, she's considered quiet. And it kind of makes us chuckle, but also makes us want to make sure she's taking care of herself and advocating for herself. And it's just been a journey. And I think that kind of stuff has catalyzed my growth and catalyzed my curiosity. And this year has really asked me to go inwards. A friend of mine was teaching me about numerology, and it's my personal year is year 7, which is usually introvert. What is the word I'm looking for, guys? Introspection, a lot of thought processing, thinking about life. And to say that is true still feels like an understatement. It has been a whirlwind, a whirlwind? You guys let me know, of thoughts and spirals and pulling myself out and spiraling again and pulling myself out. And it's been interesting. And so I thought, what better way to dump all the information in my brain than to get back into podcasting and connecting? And so here I am. I've this relates to you. I do love to hear. I do love to talk. I'm on Substack. I'm on TikTok more than Instagram, but I'm on both. Come say hi, come chat with me. But what I really wanted to talk about today is the season of life of the in between, right? So the old you doesn't fit anymore, and the new you, you are still unsure what is even happening. And it's hard, no matter what the transition is, whether you're going from high school to university or you're going from post-secondary to real world, quote unquote, real world, or you're becoming a parent or you're growing your family or you're transitioning careers from one thing to something very different, or you're trying to find a promotion, or you're going from single to dating, dating to married, all of the things, right? We all have that season of in between that it's frustrating because what we once knew no longer fits, and what we're becoming is not quite here yet, right? And so for me, that big piece right now is looking like career. And it's funny, I've been in therapy, guys, probably, how old am I? I want to say almost a decade and a half. And one of my biggest things is career. And I'm just gonna share. My fixation on career feels like a sense of control for me personally, and that's why I fixate on it because it feels like it's something tangible that when life feels unsure or chaotic, it's something that makes me feel like I'm in control. And right, like we're never in control as a human species, but your brain does seek comfort and does seek the feeling of being in control because it gives us a sense of safety, which I personally don't think is wrong. However, how you seek out that safety depends on how healthy you're feeling. What I mean by that is if I am feeling my best self, yes, I want to figure out my career, I want to figure out next steps, I want to figure out business, all of those things, but I know it's going to come. However, if I'm spiraling, logically, I can know it's going to come at some point, but there becomes this fixation on knowing the steps now. And it's a weird in between because there's trust that it's unfolding and there's mistrust that I'm not doing enough or I'm missing something or I should be trying harder or I should be getting this credential or applying to this thing, etc., right? And I feel like so many of us understand that where it's like spaghetti at the wall, and you know it's not going to help, but something in you just feels like you need to throw it in order to feel like you are trying to gain safety, right? And it's, you don't want to let yourself down, but at the same time, spaghetti on the wall is just messy. And it's kind of a waste of energy, right? Let's say you cooked pasta, it smells delicious, but in a panic, you throw it on the wall. Not only did you waste your time, waste your energy, you now have a mess to clean up. And as someone who thrives in the logic and not feeling it in her body, it's something I'm working on. And so I just want to openly share. I think maybe just going to expose myself and talk about things going forward that I have learned in therapy or that I am learning. I want to mix in some meditations, I want to mix in some community spaces. Sacred Pause really was formed before it was felt. And it's about just pausing in the in between, finding community, finding calm, whether that's with God, the universe, or even just yourself, right? There's no wrong way to do it as long as you are finding peace, being a good human being, and trying to take care of yourself. Okay, that's it for today. Take what you need from this and leave the rest. And as always, sending you so much love.